Is Lily Winters actually stepping into a throne or she walking directly into a beautifully decorated trap set by Moustache himself? Seriously ask yourself that for a second. Was this really just a calculated career move or is Lily's soul being used as a pawn in Victor's psychological warfare career move? Or is Lily's soul being used as a pawn in Victor's psychological warfare against his own wife? We have to dive deep into the seismic shift happening in Genoa City right now because things aren't just changing, they are undergoing a total demolition. Lily Winters is officially taking the helm at Chancellor Industries. And that quiet observer we have known for years is officially gone. But think about the timing here. Does anything in this town ever just happen by accident? Of course not. This is not just a standard CEO transition. It's a desperate attempt to reestablish the inventor's legacy in a world that is usually swallowed up by Newman and about interests. Lily has been playing a long game that most of the boardroom completely missed. And honestly, the funny thing is that they didn't even see her coming. She's been observing the hits and learning the maneuvers while everyone else was distracted by petty family squabbles. In my opinion, this is the first time Lily has shown a true killer instinct, but the timing is so suspicious, isn't it? The business world is buzzing and the shock waves are real, but I truly believe this shock is exactly what Victor Newman needs to mask his own intentions. You have to wonder why Lily chose this specific moment to step into the spotlight. Well, think about it. She recognized a vacuum of power for years. She's been the one watching and learning. This wasn't just her being patient. It was a survival strategy. In a city where you are either a predator or prey, Lily chose to be the one who waits. By taking control of Chancellor Industries now, she's trying to cement her identity outside of just being a Winters. She wants that Chancellor legacy, but internally, she has to be feeling a mix of absolute terror and intoxicating adrenaline. Can you imagine the weight of Catherine Chancellor's legacy on your shoulders? She isn't just fighting for a profit margin. She is fighting for her right to exist in the same conversation as the Titans. I suspect she feels a deep-seated need to prove she isn't just a legacy hire. There is a hidden layer of insecurity here, and we can all see it. She knows the skeptics are just sitting there, waiting for her to trip over her own ambition. I want to look at this a little differently than most people. We see this as a promotion, but I see it as a declaration of war against the status quo. Lily isn't just leading a company, she's attempting to disrupt the Newman Abbott duopoly. This isn't a career move, it's a psychological break from being the good daughter or the loyal employee. She's finally demanding the crown, and honestly I agree with her aggression. Lily has been sidelined for way too long in the background of other people's drama. However, I think she's been breathing down her neck. She's walking into a den of lions with a paper shield. While her confidence is something to admire, it's also her biggest weakness right now. From a behavioral standpoint, Lily's showing us classic overcompensation because she was underestimated for so long. She's now projecting this image of being composed and ready just to mask the fact that she is probably way over her head. Her ego is finally being fed, but the source of that food is a boardroom filled with sharks who smell blood in the water. She's seeking validation through a title because she hasn't yet found internal peace with her own capabilities. Do you think she actually believes her own hype, or is she just faking it until she makes it? Then we have Victor. He isn't just watching from the sidelines, he's the architect of the sidelines. He's 10 steps ahead because he doesn't see people as humans. He sees them as assets or liabilities. He's not making big public moves because he doesn't need to. He's using Lily's rise as a stress test for his own family, specifically Nikki. Victor's emotions are always tucked behind a layer of business necessity. But let's look deeper at what he's doing. He feels a sense of ownership over everything in Genoa City, including the Chancellor legacy. He likely feels a twisted sense of pride in Lily's ambition, but only because it gives him a new, fresh opponent to break. To Victor, this is just a game, and the joy comes from the manipulation, not the actual result. Most viewers see Victor as a villain here, but I think he's playing the role of the cruel mentor. He's intentionally creating cracks and planting seeds of doubt, not just to destroy Lily, but to see if she has that Newman steel to survive. He's forcing her into the deep end to see if she can swim. He doesn't want her to fail, necessarily. He just only respects people who can survive his pressure, but I have to say, I completely disagree with his methods. Targeting Nikki through Lily is a low blow even for him. He's intentionally shaking Nikki's sense of security just to remind her that he's the ultimate power. It's toxic, it's manipulative, and it shows that Victor Newman's greatest love will always be control, not his family. It's textbook Machiavellianism. Victor is using subtle moves in the market and quiet phone calls to gaslight the entire boardroom into questioning Lily's competence. His ego requires him to be the smartest person in the room at all times. If Lily succeeds without his help, his ego gets bruised. Therefore, he must ensure that if she succeeds, it's only because he allowed it. And then there's Nikki. She is in a position we rarely see her in. She is vulnerable, usually she is the unshakable force, but Lily's move put her in a direct conflict of interest. She is caught between her maternal instincts and her husband's ambitions. She is in the middle because she knows Victor's goals rarely align with anyone else's, even hers. Nikki has to be terrified. She isn't just worried about Lily's job. She is worried about Lily's spirit. She knows the toll that the Victor Newman experience takes on a person. She feels a deep sense of guilt, perhaps because she knows she can't protect her daughter from the man she shares a bed with. That internal struggle we are seeing is the sound of mothers' heart breaking against the cold reality of corporate war. But let's look at this differently. Nikki isn't just a bystander, she's the barometer of morality in this story. Her reaction to Lily's leadership will determine if the Newman family stays together or finally shatters. She isn't just a bystander, she is the barometer of morality in this story. Her reaction to Lily's leadership will determine if the Newman family stays together or finally shatters. She isn't just watching an empire tremble, she is watching her own legacy as a protector crumble under the weight of Victor's shadow. I think Nikki needs to stop being a vulnerable observer and start being the queen of Genoa City again. She's too busy worrying about Lily and not busy enough checking Victor, in my opinion. Nikki's refusal to back down is the only thing that might save Lily, but it might also cost Nikki her marriage. She's dealing with protector's fatigue. She has spent decades shielding her children and herself from Victor's intensity, and she's reaching a breaking point. Her clash with Lily, where Lily wants to stand on her own, is a psychological trigger for Nikki. If Lily rejects her protection, Nikki loses her primal identity as a mother. It's a fascinating tension. Do you think Nikki subconsciously wants Lily to struggle just so she can be the one to save her? As the week progresses, the sharks really begin to circle. This isn't just about the Newmans anymore. Rivals are seeing a golden opportunity to tear down both the Newman and Chancellor empires. We are talking about talk of mergers, takeovers, and strategic moves that could erase decades of history in a single boardroom vote. But the real escalation comes when that hidden document surfaces. This is the classic soap opera bomb dropped right as Lily's launching her first big public move. This document exposes weaknesses in the company that Victor could easily exploit. The timing is just too perfect to be an accident, don't you think? Did Victor plant it? Or did it resurface because Lily's new leadership opened up old cabinets that were better left closed? This is where the story shifts from a power struggle to a survival horror for Lily. I predict that the hidden document isn't just a financial discrepancy, it's a legal challenge to Lily's very right to lead. This is going to force Lily to make a tough decision that will alienate her allies. I see a major rift forming where Lily In a desperate attempt to save her position, makes a deal with a rival that Victor didn't even see coming. The escalation is going to lead to a full-blown boardroom showdown where loyalties aren't just tested, they are sold to the highest bidder.